This video is one of the amazing series I call The Amazing Trees. I will be upfront with you. I look at how God created various things such as DNA, the eye, the liver, the bombardier beetle, and now trees. And I must wonder, what kind of mind could possibly believe that these things happen by random chance? Without a creator, there can be no creation. Our home is in the woods. We are surrounded by trees, oak, beech, maple, hickory, and a few sassafras and dogwood, and 2 hollies. When weather permits, Judy and I like to sit on the front porch and enjoy the scenery. From there, I look at the trees and marvel at how they grow. In the past, I have shared my praise for God's genius when it comes to trees. My knowledge of trees is rather small, however, so I decided to investigate this subject. I chose for my information source ChatGPT. This is a new AI, which means Advanced Information Program. I subscribe to it because it helps me so much. It is the source of this video. I would like to begin by explaining carbon dioxide. It is part of the carbon cycle, the system that moves carbon between the air, land, water, and living things. It is the breath of life for trees and plants. All living organisms, animals, humans, plants, fungi, and even microorganisms produce CO2, which is carbon dioxide, when they respire. Respiration is a fancy word for breathing by living things. Animals and humans have lungs, so we breathe actual breaths. The plant kingdom is different. The exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen is done by osmosis. Every time a living cell uses oxygen to get energy from food, carbon dioxide is produced. Another source of carbon dioxide is from oceans, rivers, and lakes. The world's waterways store and release massive amounts of carbon dioxide. Marine organisms like fish, plankton, and bacteria respire and release CO2 into the water. Decomposition of dead water life also produces carbon dioxide. When carbon dioxide levels in the water exceed what can be dissolved, it escapes into the atmosphere. When living things die, bacteria and fungi break down their bodies. This process is called decomposition. It releases carbon back into the environment. It's nature's recycling system. The carbon in dead organisms return to the air and soil. Fires and volcanoes are another major producer of carbon dioxide. It is a natural part of life, continuously created and recycled through respiration, decay, geological activity, and other natural processes. The Earth's plants then reuse the same carbon dioxide during photosynthesis, keeping this cycle in balance. That brings us to the next topic, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants, algae, and some bacteria use energy from sunlight to convert carbon dioxide, oxygen, and water into glucose, a type of sugar. It is one of the most important biological processes on Earth because it produces the food and oxygen that most living things depend on. It produces oxygen, which is essential for respiration in animals and humans. It removes carbon dioxide and helps regulate the Earth's atmosphere. In addition, it forms the base of the food chain. The glucose made by plants is the starting energy source for most living organisms. Think of cows and all grazing animals, or maple sugar from maple trees, or sugar cane. Thanks can be given to the photochemical process God invented, photosynthesis. Photosynthesis requires four things: specialized cell structures found in plant leaves and green stems called chloroplasts. This is where photosynthesis takes place. Chlorophyll is the green pigment inside chloroplasts that capture light energy from the sun. Stomata are the tiny pores on the leaves where carbon dioxide enters and oxygen exits. We can't forget the roots. Roots absorb the water from the soil, which travels up through the stem to the leaves. In short, photosynthesis turns sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide into sugar and oxygen. It's God's way of capturing solar energy and making it available to almost every living thing on Earth. Hey, if you want more content like this, then please click the like button. Thank you. In earlier videos, I wondered how trees can move water to the top of the tree. It is a wonder, and one of the most fascinating mysteries in plant biology. It's hard to believe that a tree hundreds of feet tall, like the California redwood or Douglas fir, can pull water and nutrients from its roots all the way up to its highest leaves, or in this case needles, without a pumping system. How does this happen? In plants, sap generally refers to the water mixture that moves through the plant's vascular system, much like blood in animals. There are two types of sap flow. Xylem sap carries water and minerals from the roots upward, and phloem sap carries sugars and nutrients from the leaves downward, or around the plant. The mystery of the vertical flow concerns xylem sap, which is the upward movement of water. The process begins underground. Roots are like the vascular system of a tree or plant. They grow underground searching for water, then branch off just like the branches above, diminishing in size as they branch off. Tiny root hairs absorb water and dissolve minerals from the soil. Water enters the roots by osmosis, moving from areas of high water concentration in the soil to lower concentrations inside the root cells. This water moves into the xylem vessels, which are long, hollow tubes made of dead cells that run from the roots to the leaves like microscopic straws. The main driving force that lifts water up a tall tree is called transpiration. Transpiration is the evaporation of water from the leaves. Here's how it works. Water evaporates from the stomata, which are the tiny pores on the leaf surfaces. This creates a light suction inside the leaf's air spaces. That suction pulls water molecules up from the xylem tubes from below, all the way from the roots. This gets a little technical, but bear with me. We're almost there. There are two special properties of water that make this possible. One is cohesion. Water molecules stick to each other like links in a chain because of hydrogen bonding. The other is adhesion. Water also sticks to the walls of the xylem vessels, helping it to climb upward. Cohesion and adhesion working together create a continuous column of water from the roots to the top of the leaves. When a water molecule evaporates from a leaf, it tugs on the next one below it, and so on, pulling the entire column upward. Imagine a very thin straw filled with water, and you pull on the top, the water tension moves all the way down instantly. In smaller plants and young stems, capillary action, which is the tendency of water to rise in narrow tubes, also helps lift water a short distance. In tall trees, transpiration pull and cohesion tension are the dominant forces. At night, or in very humid conditions, when transpiration slows, roots can still push some water upward. This creates osmotic pressure, forcing water upward a little bit. Root pressure can push water a few feet, enough to cause tiny droplets on leaf edges in the morning. But it's not strong enough to lift water 300 feet. That's the job for transpiration. For the tallest trees, like redwoods and eucalyptus, over 300 feet tall, the suction created by transpiration can generate pressures up to 20 atmospheres, which is stronger than most vacuum pumps. The limit seems to be around 400 feet, where the weight of the water column and resistance in the xylem becomes too great for more weight. For this reason, redwoods are near the upper physical limit of what the laws of physics allow. Even though a 350-foot redwood doesn't have a pump like a heart, it uses sunlight, evaporation, and the physics of water molecules to lift tons of water every day from the roots to the sky. If photosynthesis did not happen all at once in trees, plants, and grasses, then few, if any, of the living organisms that respire oxygen would have survived. The atmosphere would be out of balance with carbon dioxide poisoning the majority of what could have been life as we know it. If one detail mentioned in this lesson was omitted, then the whole system would not have worked. Evolution could not have brought about trees or plants. It's one of God's most elegant examples of physics, chemistry, and biology working in perfect harmony. I know this was a little dry, but if you have stuck it out this far, then you understand why I say only Jehovah Awesome could create a tree, because it is so complex, so amazing. I hope you clicked on the like button. If you enjoyed this video, then please share it with someone and subscribe if you haven't done so already. These things cause the YouTube algorithm to send these videos to more people. Thank you for watching. I genuinely appreciate it.